23-year-old woman full of promise,
A little tough.
shot and killed by her husband.
Thursday was the 20th, which was actually 16 years to the day that I lost my mom. So it's kind of a rough day.
The couple's kids are grown now. One just graduated high school, the other college.
It's not all bad. I mean, you go through the bad things, but you end up doing good, you know? I mean, sorry.
And as a family, they've decided it's time to honor her with the Nina McDaniel Memorial Foundation.
To do something, hopefully to prevent anybody else from going through what she did.
We came to our door and said we want to do something.
Tonight, a benefit concert in her honor. All of the proceeds going to the Artemis Center to keep the services and programming they provide free to the people they help.
The problem is most people don't really know what to look for, what to be aware of. For domestic violence, it's pretty rampant. It's worse than I ever thought.
Nina's daughter learned at a young age and is now sharing what she knows with women like her mom by volunteering at the Artemis Center.
I know that if I can help somebody, just one person, and that's one person that doesn't have to go through the things that I had to go through.
Well, Adam, as you can see, detectives and crash reconstruction units remain on scene here. I'm at the corner of Court and South Schaefer Streets. This is where police and medics were called just before 1 this morning and ultimately found a man lying unresponsive in the street. This is video from the scene. Medics took the man to Springfield Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Then they found a woman on the 100 block of South Ray Street who had also suffered injuries from the crash. Hers were not serious. Springfield police did not give a suspect description, but they do believe they found the car behind the Night Owl Bar on West Main Street. Now, back out here live, we are working to the crash that killed the passenger and sent the driver to the hospital. You can see officers are still on scene here. They're working to determine if multiple shell casings found along Germantown Street are related to the driver suddenly and inexplicably losing control. Police say an SUV was traveling westbound on Germantown Street at a high rate of speed when it swerved off the road down an embankment and slammed into a brick wall before coming to rest near a home. Despite multiple 911 calls from witnesses who say they heard shots fired before the crash, police say neither victim suffered a gunshot wound and they did not find a bullet hole in the SUV. But next
here in Brookville, money's tight for the city operations. When they want to make changes, that's when push comes to shove. What's more difficult than backing the town's medic unit into the cramped fire station? It's finding the money to replace the old building. Built in 1951, it's beyond outdated. Although the move to raise more money here through the city income tax has people concerned.
It's a small town, and we're not a wealthy town. We live from paycheck to paycheck.
The cost would be at least $5.5 million. It's to house not only the city's fire equipment, which now just barely fits in the building, literally by just a few inches, but it's also to house fire personnel on duty. The chief showed us where they sleep now in temporary quarters, the town's former council chambers. And the volume of their calls for service has been increasing lately at 10% a year. Their facility is an antique, but their service has to be state-of-the-art.
Someone in a nursing facility that needs a paramedic, that's us. If you're trapped in a car at an intersection from a crash, that's us. And certainly if the building's on fire, that's also us.
The controversy comes after voters approved an income tax increase here just a year ago, and the latest funding plan would force a slight increase to people who live here but work in another city. Mayor David Seagrave says a lot of cities are facing similar problems after the governor cut state funding to balance the budget in Columbus. That move is costing taxpayers.
That's been on the backs of the cities and the schools. And Brookville is one of many that are continue to be faced with a situation of funding.
The mayor says a council vote on the tax change is coming soon. Critics are launching a Facebook page to spread the word about the opposition movement. We'll have more coverage on this issue, not only here in Brookville, but also elsewhere around the Miami Valley. It's coming from the I-Team and the Dayton Daily News this weekend. In Brookville, Jim Oddie, News Center 7.